5 minutes, we will start with our orientation and consultation program. Again, in 5 minutes, we will start with our orientation and consultation program. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I am Professor Katrina Dakanay. And with me this afternoon are my co-hosts, Professor Emily Monar
Good afternoon.
and Professor Clarissa Albarillo.
Good afternoon po.
Welcome to the CCS Consultation Meeting on Limited Face-to-Face Classes. The COVID-19 pandemic has taken its toll on education, but we at Don Mariano Marcos Memorial State University have taken action to continue the education of our students by means of flexible learning. For the past 2 years, there were challenges and adaptations by everyone, especially our faculty and students, but we survived. And now that the COVID-19 cases here in our region and the entire Philippines have decreased, we are gradually opening the campus for a limited learning environment to embrace the next normal in education. At this juncture, may I request everyone for a moment of silence as we formally open our program with an invocation, followed by the singing of the Pilipinas Kong Mahal, Dimsuhim, and the recitation of the PVMGO.
Our Heavenly Father, the fount of all goodness and grace, the cause of wisdom, the source of intelligence, we welcome you, O Lord, to this auspicious gathering of your beloved, who continuously give you thanks for every opportunity to learn something new and become fruitful to the works of your creation. We humbly come to you, not because we are worthy, but because we find ourselves in need of you, who is our strength and our hope, to continue despite the challenges we face in health, prosperity, and our solidarity with one another. We pray that today's gathering, made possible by the grace of advancements in technology and social media, becomes successful in its endeavors, so we can offer it back to you as our humble offering to honor you, glorify you, and love you through our deeper connection with everyone. May we find bliss in today's session and become more productive children and co-creators of the earth. This we ask and pray through Christ our Lord. Amen.
The DMMMSU philosophy, vision, mission, goals, and objectives. Philosophy: total human development with appropriate competencies. Vision: a globally competitive university. Mission: provides high-quality instruction, research, and extension. Goal: to lead in transforming human resources into productive, self-reliant citizens and responsible leaders. Quality policy statement: DMMMSU envisions to become a globally competitive university. To attain its vision, the university commits to 1. Deliver quality service in instruction, research, and extension in compliance with applicable statutory and regulatory requirements. 2. Develop employee competencies, creativity, empowerment, and accountability through innovative programs, strong management engagement and commitment. And 3. Achieve high level of clientele satisfaction. Quality objectives. The university aims to 1. Increase the percentage of board passers to 38% and employment rate of graduates to 40% at the end of the year. 2. Increase the percentage of research outputs and publications to 27%. 3. Increase the percentage of approved research proposals to 10%. 4. Increase the percentage of extension services to 95%. 5. Comply with applicable statutory and regulatory requirements to 100%. 6. Implement the faculty and staff development plan. 7. Improve utilization of machines and equipment. 8. Improve budget utilization rate to 95%. And 9. Achieve at least 80% client satisfaction. Core values: service, service to our stakeholders; productivity, productivity with passion for work; excellence, excellence, excellence in our programs through scholarly undertakings; commitment, commitment in delivering our mandates; innovativeness, innovation towards attaining operative systems, breakthroughs, and milestones; advocacy, advocacy in transforming lives; leadership, leadership for transformation, empowerment, and sustainable development.
And to give us his welcome address, let us give our virtual applause to the committed and hardworking Dean of the College of Computer Science, Professor Darwin C. Liavore.
Good afternoon to each and everyone. Shout out po sa ating 271 attendees of this consultation regarding the limited face-to-face in the College of Computer Science. Magandang hapon sa ating lahat, sa ating mga minamahal na parents, at of course sa ating mga faculty members and mga minamahal naming mga estudyante. Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. I know very well that you know the very purpose why we are conducting this event. This is actually the consultation regarding the plan of the university to finally open its gates to our beloved students, no? Kasi this pandemic has had really impacted and affected, no, yung ating educational sector, not only in the academe, but most of the sectors of the society ay talagang naapektuhan itong pandemya na ito. And I know that we have enough of the pandemic, no? Life and education really has to continue. Kaya we don't have any option, no, but to really open for the limited face-to-face. I know you're all excited more than we are excited, no, na makita kayong muli dito sa campus, no, na kayo papasok sa inyong laboratory, no, para sa inyong pag-aaral. And parang magto 2 years na ata na nakakuan tayo, no? Puro online yung virtual meeting natin. And so I think it's really high time for us, no, in the academy, in the university, to really open up and physically magkikita-kita na rin tayo. The plan of the university is March 31 ang ating opening, but the campus specifically, no, ay nag-target ng March 28, no, to finally open for the limited face-to-face. Kaya for this activity, you will be given some information as to what we will be expecting for the next days to come, no, and of course kung ano yung magiging decision or consensus of the CCS community that includes faculty, parents, and the students as regards to the opening ng limited face-to-face. Okay, and I know that sa part ng estudyante, part ng parents, including the faculty members in the college, I know talagang excited na rin kayo, no, na makapasok. Kaya I wish everyone, no, na you are well, sound, safe, and healthy all the time, no? And we're hoping na magkikita-kita na rin tayo in the next days to come. So I'll expect everybody, our parents, faculty, and our dear students to be attentive in this consultation, no, para ma-achieve natin kung ano man yung set na objective nung event na ito. So once again, magandang hapon sa ating lahat at yeah, I hope you are well, safe, and sound. So good afternoon once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome and greetings to our parents and students. Before we start with the presentation proper, let us watch the CCS faculty and staff as they perform their rendition of Dito sa Dimsu jingle.
Isang misyon, mga layunin na buo, isang universidad, mga kolehiyo, sama-samang naghabi ng mga plano, nagmarka sa ating bansa at sa buong mundo. Karunungay dumaloy, tila walang preno, natanggalin lang pati mga talento. Ang ugaling Pinoy, makikitang totoo sa mag-aaral man at mga empleyado. Tara na, saan ka pa? Dito sa DMSU, isang hakbang, isang galaw, sama na tayo. Tara na, saan ka pa? Dito sa DMSU, may dalang pag-asa para sa mundo. bagong umaga sa atin naghihintay. Isang universidad na mayroong pagmamahal, serbisyong may puso, tapat at totoo, inaalay sa inyo at sa buong mundo. Tara na, saan ka pa? Dito sa DMMMSU, isang hakbang, isang galaw, sama na tayo. Tara na, saan ka pa? Dito sa DMMMSU, may dalang pag-asa para sa mundo. Tara na, saan ka pa? Dito sa DMMMSU, isang hakbang, isang galaw, sama na tayo. Tara na, saan ka pa? Dito sa DMMMSU, may dalang pag-asa para sa mundo.
Okay, for the virtual tour and reorientation about our College of Computer Science, let's have this video presentation care of Professor Maria Jessica Tacolo.
Ma'am Ems, permission to share po. Thank you po.
Init po siya.
With various distinctions and citations. CC's engagement to instruction, research, extension, and production with the great leadership of the administration contributed to the holistic transformation of all of its stakeholders. CCS garnered a remarkable lead in IT education in Region 1, having awarded a Center of Development by the Commission of Higher Education and accredited Level 4 of the Accrediting Agency of Colleges and Universities of the Philippines. The College of Computer Science have invested in facilities that will further improve the campus experience. We have different experimental laboratories where disciplinary boundaries transcend. CCS becomes a convergence of different disciplines that invokes innovation. The college embraces transdisciplinary researches to help solve social problems by expanding collaborations with research institutions and industries. CCS have produced research collaboration in agriculture, education, music, psychology, and socioeconomic field. We in the College of Computer Science foster extracurricular activities that enhance creative talents and encourage values transformation. Students are exposed to the global stage as we partner with 9 universities in the ASEAN region for their academic and cultural immersions. The college has its library, which is conducive for open discussion. It is where ideas are valued and imagination is limitless. Collaborative learning is also possible with online resources and multimedia equipment. The College of Computer Science continues to provide quality education by investing on faculty development. With a fast-paced technology, CCS gets ahead by training faculty members to surpass conventional thinking and be at par with the leading IT educational institution. With a pool of faculty members, the college was able to breed 14 Doctor in Philosophy in Computer Science and Doctor in Information Technology. CCS strengthens its workforce in research and extension capability to further help answering social needs.
Done na ito. Okay na, si Sir Charlie. To give us an overview on the guidelines on the implementation of limited face-to-face of all programs in the higher education institutions or the CHED-DOH Joint Memorandum Circular 2021-004, may we have our Dean, Professor Darwin Liavere, before we proceed with the student schedule for limited face-to-face classes. Sir Darwin.
Thank you, Ma'am Emily. I'll first share my screen. I'll be presenting to you the gist or some of the frequently asked questions with regard to the CHED-DOH Joint Memorandum Circular number 2021-004 regarding the guidelines on the implementation of limited face-to-face classes for all programs of higher education institutions in areas under alert level system for COVID-19 response. This is basically the legal basis of what we will be doing, no, dun sa pag-open ng limited face-to-face classes in the university. Okay, so first question that you might be asking later is the resumption of limited face-to-face classes mandatory? So the answer there is no, because as stated in Section 4A of CHED-DOH GMC number 2021-004, limited face-to-face are not mandatory. It will still be under the discretion of the HEIs or referring to the university, no, to conduct limited face-to-face classes or to continue the implementation of flexible learning modality. If the HEI opts for flexible learning modalities, they shall be governed by the provisions under CHED Memorandum Order or CMO number 4, series of 2020, or the guidelines on the implementation of flexible learning. So there are two memorandum circulars mentioned here, no? Yung JMC number 2021-004, that talks about the limited face-to-face classes, and yung CMO number 4 series of 2020, that's on the guidelines on the implementation of flexible learning. So the outright answer here is that no, hindi po mandatory ang pag-resume ng limited face-to-face classes. But of course, the management or the administration in the university is very determined, no, to finally open DMSU for our students who will be joining or participating in the limited face-to-face classes. Question number 2. Do we need to secure a permit from CHED to conduct limited face-to-face classes? The answer there is no, because the HEI must comply with the provisions of the mentioned JMC and do a self-assessment if they can comply. Because here in this JMC, there are forms and checklists that we need to accomplish and conduct a self-assessment as to our preparedness, no, to offer the limited face-to-face. So it will now be the decision of the HEI or DMSU in particular to conduct limited face-to-face. So it's no longer necessary for the university to secure a permit from CHED. However, we in the university need to notify the CHED, no, through the regional office, no, by submitting an accomplished self-assessment checklist and the notarized affidavit of undertaking. Question number 3, do we need additional permits to continue the conduct of online classes? So currently, no, we are implementing flexible learning that includes the use of modules, at the same time use of learning management systems, no? So the answer here is no. We don't need to secure additional permits to continue yung pag-conduct ng online classes. We are still covered, no? Nung CMO number 4 series of 2020, or the guidelines on the implementation of flexible learning. Mind you that we are only talking about limited face-to-face. It's not yet a full-blown opening, but it's just limited, no? The capacity in the laboratory will only be 12 at the moment, no? But then again, pwede tayong mag-open, gradually increasing the number depending on the situation, no? Na ibababa from the national going down to the local. It goes down the line, no? So, yun po. Wait lang. Okay. Our question number 4, are schools required to put up plastic barriers inside the classrooms? It's no longer required, no? It's no longer required. But HEIs or the university must ensure that institutional policies are developed, no, and strictly implemented. And of course, it should conform with the minimum public health standards mandated by the IATF and the DOH. And HEIs are recommended to utilize visual cues and floor markers as needed. It's like when you go to an establishment, or when you go to the mall, no, may mga nakikita kayong mga visual cues, floor markers. So we will do the same, that dito sa campus, no, lahat ay mayroong appropriate markings or signages, no, specifically on the health standards, no, mandated by IATF and DOH. So hindi na po required yung nakikita natin dati ng mga plastic barriers inside the classrooms. Question number 5, required pa ba ang pagsusuot ng face shields? It's already optional, no? Yung pagsusuot ng face shield in areas under alert level system 1 to 3 as per IATF resolution number 149. We are currently under alert level 1 in La Union, I believe, including the whole province in the region 1, no? Naka-alert level 1 tayo. So yung pagsusuot po ng face shield ay optional na po yan. But again, HEIs may add stringent health measures if deemed fit. Since we will be utilizing our laboratory rooms, and we really have to make sure that the proper there's an adequate ventilation, no, dun sa ating mga laboratory rooms. So again, yung pagsusuot na ng face shield ay optional na lamang po ito. Question number 6, are students required to have PhilHealth? Can they get insurance coverage from other HMOs? Required po ang pagkuha ng PhilHealth insurance, no? As stated in section 4.h of the JMC number 21004, HEIs shall ensure that students who will participate in the limited face-to-face classes under this JMC and subsequent guidelines to be issued by CHED are registered with PhilHealth or with equivalent medical insurance that covers medical expenses related to COVID-19. So students may be direct or indirect contributor, dependents of direct contributor for PhilHealth. It will now be a requirement, no, for the students who will be participating sa limited face-to-face classes na magkaroon po ng PhilHealth insurance. It's stated that direct may be having that insurance under his or her name, or indirect, probably you're a dependent or beneficiary of a direct contributor of your parents, no? So the bottom line here is kailangan po natin ng insurance para sa ating mga estudyante. Question number 7, magiging liable ba kung ang estudyante ay na-contract ng COVID-19, assuming from attending face-to-face classes? If there's a violation of Article 4.H of the JMC number 2021-004, specifically on medical insurance, ito yung binabanggit po natin kanina. That's why we have stated that yung PhilHealth insurance po natin ay binanggit na required po yan, including other form of insurance, no? Basta covered po niya ang COVID-19, no? So if there's a violation ng university with regard to that, which I believe magiging wala naman because we will be requiring students to avail, no, yung insurance na yan. So possible na magiging liable and yung university, and the HEI will facilitate the necessary medical treatment or procedures for the affected students. So yun po ang panghahawakan natin ng lahat ng makikipag-participate sa limited face-to-face ay indeed mayroon siyang PhilHealth insurance. Okay po? Question number 8. Is there an age requirement for students who will participate in the limited face-to-face classes? There's no age requirement to participate in the limited face-to-face classes. In the previously issued memo, JMC 001 saka 002, mayroong specific age requirement which is 20 years old and above, no? But with the issuance of this JMC, yung 2021-004, inalis na po yung age requirement ng mga sasali doon sa limited face-to-face. So open na po siya. Question number 9, can unvaccinated students participate in the limited face-to-face classes? No, ang sagot po dyan. So again, kailangan po natin ng mga estudyante ay dapat fully vaccinated po sila bago mag-participate sa limited face-to-face. And please take note that there's no disruption in education since unvaccinated students are governed by flexible learning. So those who are fully vaccinated, they have the option to participate in the limited face-to-face. And for those who are not vaccinated, tutuloy-tuloy pa rin po tayo for the flexible learning, no? So diretso pa rin ang education. There's no disruption kasi teachers or faculty members will be accommodating 2 sets of learners this time. So students who will participate in the limited face-to-face classes, and the other set is yung governed ng flexible learning, wherein may online class meetings na i-schedule. At the same time, gagamit tayo ng module just the same, no? Question number 10, are graduate programs included? So this talks about the graduate school, no? So yes po, all programs across all disciplines and year levels are allowed to participate in the conduct of limited face-to-face classes, no? So, yun po ang sagot dyan. Question number 11. Do HEIs need to submit letter of intent to concerned CHEDRO? The answer is no. No, we will just be accomplishing the self-assessment checklist and the notarized affidavit of undertaking, no, na kailangan pa ring maisubmit to CHED Regional Office number 1. So yun po yung cover natin, yung CHEDRO number 1. Question number 12. Will the CHEDRO inspect the facilities of HEIs and issue approval before they can reopen? Okay. Inspection of the facilities will no longer be made by CHEDRO, but it's going to be the crisis management committee of the campus, no, which comprises of the chancellor, the deans, safety officer of the campus, the planning officer, the medical unit, and a lot more, no? So the CMC, crisis management committee, then it goes up to the university, and the university committee will also be inspecting, no, doing the ocular inspection. And mayroon tayong schedule that I think March 21, that will be the schedule of the campus management crisis to inspect our facilities in the college, no? Kung okay tayo based on the self-assessment checklist, then i-forward na po yan sa university. Ang schedule, I believe, March 23, no? Yung schedule ng university to conduct ocular inspection naman dito sa college. And once approved by the university committee, then that's the time we will be submitting, no, yung ating accomplished self-assessment checklist and the notarized affidavit of undertaking to CHED Regional Office number 1. Okay? And again, the target of the university is March 31 ang mag-open, but in the campus, we are targeting March 28 po ang pag-open po natin. Question, can CHED suspend the conduct of limited face-to-face classes of HEIs? Definitely, no? So, ang CHED, pwede siyang mag-suspend ng pag-conduct ng limited face-to-face if it finds any violation, no, on the guidelines stated in the GMC number 2021-004. Okay? But I believe, and we can give an assurance to our parents, to our students, that we will be strictly adhering, no, to the provisions of this joint memorandum circular, and we will be adhering to the full compliance, no, ng mga provisions nito. Para sa ganon ay mapasigurado po natin of the safety ng ating mga minamahal na estudyante, and mas maging student-friendly po ang ating environment dito sa campus. Question number 14, will the limited face-to-face classes be automatically suspended when a student tested positive for COVID-19? So suspend ba siya agad-agad? Okay, as is stated in the JMC 2021-004, the implementation of limited face-to-face classes shall be preventively suspended, then reopened based on the following scenarios. So may mga scenarios po tayo dito, 3. So the locality, first scenario, the locality of HEI is reclassified to alert level 4 or 5. Currently, we are level 1. And pag naging level 4 or 5 po tayo, automatically isususpend po ng buong university ang pag-conduct muna ng limited face-to-face classes. As to the reopening protocol, if the alert level 4 or 5 turned or downgraded to alert level 3 or better, no? So alert level 3, 2, and 1, okay po tayo sa limited face-to-face. But if it gets alert level 4 and 5, automatically suspended po ang ating limited face-to-face. The locality, second scenario, the locality of the HEI is under granular lockdown. Automatic ang prevention or suspension po for the entire HEI. Okay? So pag nagkaroon ng granular lockdown dito sa halimbawa dito sa Agoo, then automatic magkakaroon po tayo ng suspension. If that is lifted, then we are ready to reopen back, no? Yung isang scenario naman, if school building classroom lockdown for case clustering, no? So halimbawa nagkaroon ng we're not asking for it, no, pero pag nagkaroon lamang ng case, no, halimbawa sa ibang unit, then there will be some sort of a preventive suspension, and it will be based on the assessment and the decision of the Crisis Management Committee or the CMC na binanggit po natin kanina, no, ng campus, and upon the consultation with the local task force against COVID-19. So hindi po agad-agad na masosuspend ang limited face-to-face kung sakali lamang na may isang estudyante na nagkaroon ng case dito sa college, no? The decision lies on the Crisis Management Committee, including the consultation with the local task force against COVID-19, no? And for its reopening, so i-continue po natin yung limited face-to-face after completing the contact tracing and disinfection activities and quarantine period for the confirmed and suspected cases in the college. So these are the preventive suspension and reopening protocols as regards to these mentioned scenarios, no? Meron pa ba? I think so. Those are the frequently asked questions that you might be having in your minds, and for the continuation of this consultation, our colleagues, some of our faculty members will be presenting, discussing to us the different protocols, no, regarding our limited face-to-face classes. And if you have questions, additional questions in mind, perhaps you can reserve it and you may raise it during our open forum. Okay po? So that ends my time in presenting these frequently asked questions as regards to JMC number 2021 series 004, the guidelines in the implementation of limited face-to-face classes in all programs sa mga universities. So thank you very much to everyone. Ma'am Emily.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much for presenting and discussing to us the frequently asked questions and answers regarding the conduct of the limited face-to-face. And yes, to everyone, if you have questions in mind, please reserve it because we will be allotting time for an open forum for your questions. At this point, may we hear how the scheduling of classes is going to be during this opening of the limited face-to-face. May we hear it from our program chair, Sir Professor Charlie Marzan.
Good afternoon. May I share my screen?
Yes, sir.
Magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Ako po ay naatasan na talakayin ang schedule ng classes ng mga mag-aaral na nagbigay ng kanilang intensyon na sumali sa limitadong harapang klase. In this slide, makikita natin yung mga subjects offered with limited face-to-face. Ito yung mga subjects na sa tingin namin ay napaka-importante at lahat ng mga ito ay may laboratory classes. So for the first year, only computer programming 2 will be done on limited face-to-face, whereas introduction to natural language processing and information management naman po sa mga second year students until the end of the semester. So for the third year students, mobile application development and web programming are the approved subjects that needed to have limited face-to-face learning. So for the fourth year, you can see here na wala just because they will not participate because they don't have subjects with laboratory classes. This is now the schedule of the first year students. Since isang subject lang, half day lang ang pasok ninyo sa campus. So it's either 9 to 12 or 1 to 4. For the schedule of the second year students, you have to stay in the college from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. once in a week, since you will be attending 2 laboratory classes. Same thing will happen to all third year students who will participate in the face-to-face classes. You have to come to school once a week from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. You need to attend the mobile app development and web programming classes. So the question now is, what will happen to those students who will not participate in the face-to-face classes? The answer is the instructor may record the 3-hour class, or the instructor may conduct an online class discussing that particular topic. So that ends my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Sir Charlie, for the scheduling. Now may we move on with the things to be considered for our upcoming face-to-face class. By knowing what are the different things to consider and coming up with our insurance, to be presented by Professor Nemaros D. Rivera, our SAS facilitator.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Ma'am, can I present my presentation?
Yes, ma'am.
Di yata ako. Ma'am, can you make me host? Co-host?
Okay na, ma'am?
Okay na, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you po. Okay, so ayan. So good afternoon, dear students, parents and guardians who are here today, and also to our faculty members who are here to join our limited face-to-face consultation. So today I'm tasked to discuss some of the things na kailangang i-prepare ng bawat estudyante na mag-join sa limited face-to-face. So I think excited ng mga estudyante natin to be back at the university and see your classmates and professors again around the university. But before that, we need to prepare not only ourselves, but also some requirements that we must submit to comply with the needs para maka-join nga sa ating limited face-to-face. Okay, so these are few of the things that you need to prepare, students. You need to prepare some IDs and travel passes like your NAPANAM and vaccination card, travel pass pag kailangan. And also yung focus ng aking discussion today, which is the membership and dependency to health insurance. Okay, and also you need to learn the scope and coverage of your health insurance. And also, yung iba pang documentary requirements. Later on, ma-discuss natin kung ano pa yung mga yon. Okay, so the Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, or PhilHealth, has rolled out a wider coverage for COVID-19 cases given the high hospitalization costs incurred amid pandemic. Okay, here is the table of the amount of benefits provided based on the severity of the patient's condition. So makikita nyo dito yung ibibigay na amount, hindi naman sa sinasabi nating tayo dito, but makaka-contact tayo ng COVID-19, pero just to show you the benefits. Okay, that PhilHealth will be given to a patient. Okay, so sabi ng ating din kanina, there is a joint memorandum circular of CHED and DOH that we are going to register. You students are going to register into a national health insurance program. Okay, for the limited face-to-face classes and all programs of higher education institutions. So kailangan nga meron tayong PhilHealth. Okay, and how are you, and kasama dito sa agreement na ito, first is all Filipino students 20 years old and below are still considered dependent of their biological or foster parents, and they are not required to contribute, yung magbayad ka, individual contribution mo or individual membership, because at this age, 20 years old and below, considered pa rin kayong dependent. Okay, so and meron pa who are the, however, the children with 21 years old and above naman, which are suffering from congenital disability and other physical or mental disability acquired, or any disability acquired that renders them totally dependent on the member, considered pa rin silang dependent. Okay? So yun po ang sinasabi ni PhilHealth. So 20 years students na 20 years old below and 21 years old pa taas, but meron tayong conditions dito, yung may disability, sila ay tinatag pa rin ni PhilHealth as dependent. Kaya kung magsasubmit kayo later on ng data nyo on your PhilHealth, you just provide us the membership number to PhilHealth ng mga parents nyo. Given that you are declared as dependent, makikita nyo yan sa membership data record ng parents ninyo makikita nyo sa baba kung sino yung mga listed na dependents. Okay, kung listed kayo doon, then you are going to submit to us the just the PhilHealth number of your parents. Okay, but okay, on this agreement pa rin, students who are 21 years old and above should register. Okay, should be an individual member of PhilHealth already. Kailangan mo nang magbayad ng contributions. Okay, and this is a table wherein it will show you yung possible na bayaran ninyo. Noong 2019, okay, ito po 275 lang, pero as of now, we have 400. Ito yung pinaka-minimum na contribution for individual membership na, 400 pesos. Okay, so yan po ang nilalaman ng ating joint GMC, yung sinasabi ng ating din kanina na joint agreement ng DOH at saka CHED. Okay, this morning I have sent an email for those who responded na gusto nilang sumali sa limited face-to-face to collect your NAPANAM, PhilHealth, and vaccination card. Okay, so unfortunately at this moment we only have 32 responses. Okay, ang kino-collect ko kasi dito is the picture of your IDs. Okay, though we have already collected your numbers, your PhilHealth numbers, si Sir Charlie ang nag-collect niyan. Okay, ito yung mga numbers lang, PhilHealth ID numbers. Okay, and 111 are the dependents and 30 po na CCSE students ang meron ng individual PhilHealth membership. Okay, kung saan kayo, for example, kung saan yung age range nyo, okay, kung 21 years old and above na kayo, you should get individual membership. Pero kapag 20 years old and below, you can submit to us the ID number, membership ID number in PhilHealth of your parents, biological. Kung adopted naman po, basta po legal po yung pag-adopt sa inyo and then you are nakalista kayo as dependent ng foster parent nyo. Okay, so in this form, yung iba nagtatanong sa akin kung paano sagutin yung form na yan. Okay, in this form, you're going to provide me the number, individual membership of the student. I-provide yun yung number tapos yung picture. Kung dependent ka naman, you do not need to answer the individual membership kasi dependent ka nga. So, skip mo yung section na yon. Okay? And also, I am collecting also in this form yung other health insurance na meron kayo. Kung meron pa kayong ibang health insurance, private health insurance, i-picture nyo lang po yung ID ninyo or membership record. Okay, so ano naman yan, hindi naman siya required. And also, yung vaccination card and yung NAPANAM ID are required na isubmit nyo din sa form na ito. And then, I'm requesting dito sa form na i-upload nyo as a single file yung lahat ng pictures, yung ID nyo in PDF or in Word. So I hope by attending this consultation, after this, i-accomplish nyo na yung forms natin para we can submit it and we are going to push through with the limited face-to-face. Okay? So here is the breakdown kung sino pa lang ang nakasubmit ng mga IDs kanina. Unfortunately, may 32 pa lang na responses. And we need to verify pa yung mga responses nyo kung valid. Kung hindi valid, you wait for an email na i-state namin doon kung ano yung kulang nyo pa or yung papalitan. Okay, so yun lang po yung aking i-discuss today. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Nema, for discussing to us about the student insurance. Now to present to us the institutional policies and protocols on contact tracing, screening and detection, physical distancing, maintenance, cleaning, sanitation and disinfection, containment and lockdown, quarantine and isolation and emergency transfer protocols, may we hear from Professor Joe Anthony Milan.
Thank you, Professor Emily Munar. Ma'am, can I have a grant to share my PowerPoint presentation?
Yes.
Okay. So it is health that is real wealth and not pieces of gold and silver. That is according to Mahatma Gandhi. Thus, everyone should take part and do their best to follow the set minimum public health standards and safety protocols by the national and provincial government as well as the university. We will need patience with a can-do attitude to ensure that the limited face-to-face learning is both purposeful and effective, especially to ensure the safety of students, faculty and staff, our loved ones, and the community. Good afternoon to everyone. On behalf of my team, my task for today is to present the institutional policies and protocols to be implemented and should be observed for the limited face-to-face classes delivery of the College of Computer Science. And here are the topics to be covered in this discussion. We have the different protocols for contact tracing, screening and detection, physical distancing, the maintenance, cleaning, sanitation and disinfection, containment and lockdown, quarantine and isolation, and lastly, the emergency transfer protocols. So let's start with contact tracing protocols. So the main goal of contact tracing protocols is to interrupt ongoing transmission and mitigate the spread of infection. Thus, we need to identify everyone who has came in close with someone who has COVID-19. So not only identifying the students, employees, the faculty and staff and visitors who may have been exposed to COVID-19, but also to monitor and follow up their health status daily, okay, for 14 days, okay, from the last date of their exposure. So why is contact tracing important? It is because it is an effective way to stop the spread of the virus by immediately checking if these close contacts are infected and managing these cases to prevent onward transmission of coronavirus. The question now is how to identify or tag someone as close contact. First one is you are exposed. Yan, you have exposure to a suspect, probable or confirmed COVID-19 case from 2 days before onset of illness or date of specimen collection. Another one is you have a face-to-face contact with a COVID-19 case within 1 meter and for more than 15 minutes. And especially kung nakipag-contact kayo na hindi nakasuot ng face mask or any protective gear. Yan. Next is, speaking of no protective gear, if you are taking care of patients with COVID-19 disease without using proper personal protective equipment. And lastly, minsan hindi natin na namamalayan, nakikipag-share tayo, sharing of eating and drinking utensils with suspect, probable, or confirmed COVID-19 case. Then once you are identified as close contact, you will be classified. So what will be your classifications? So we have three different close contact classification. One is the first generation or yung tinatawag nilang first degree contact. Yan. So you are in contact with a suspect, probable, or confirmed COVID-19 case. Then the second generation, close contact, you are in contact with the first generation close contact. And lastly, you are declared as a third generation close contact if you are in contact with the second generation close contact. And here are the different contact tracing protocols. First, is to identify and list down all the close contacts. So who are the students and employees who were present during the scheduled class or who are in the office of the declared individual na nag-positive for COVID-19. Visitors who visited the affected offices. So that is the first thing to be done. Second is to manage and monitor close contacts. Okay, so if they are symptomatic upon reporting to work, after they have spent any time in the facility or confirmed positive COVID-19 by a medical professional. So they will be checked if they are symptomatic or asymptomatic. And lastly is coordinate with campus health services. So the school physician will coordinate the contact tracing with the RHU or the rural health unit. So what will be our responses if we are identified as close contact to recently diagnosed COVID-19 cases? One, yan. If you are tagged as close contact, you have to stay at home. So you should no longer to go to work or class, but should inform your supervisor or instructor in charge or your advisor. Yan. Inform your advisor, the dean or our program chair about your case. Next, you have to go self-quarantine or isolation. Okay, so you have to follow the set protocols for isolation and quarantine by the DOH. Then RT-PCR test, is it required? So that will depend, but and be determined by the RHU or CHO. So even with a negative RT-PCR result, the employee or student will have to complete the quarantine or isolation period required. Okay, so kahit sabihin niyo na negative na kayo, pwede na kayong pumasok, you have to still complete the quarantine or isolation period. Okay. So that is for identifying close contacts. Next, screening and detection protocol. So it is done to help prevent the spread of COVID-19 and reduce the potential risk of exposure to our students, faculty, and or staff and visitors. So a daily self-screening will be implemented. So how will you perform the daily self-screening? Okay, so you have to have the health declaration form. So you are required, anyone who will enter the campus are required or is required to answer the health declaration form. Then a verification will be done by the medical staff or faculty in charge. Then we have a no face mask, no appointment, no class schedule, no entry policy. So students who can enter the premises of the campus or college are those with appointment and class schedules. Okay, so upon answering the health declaration form, so if one from the different indicators you answered yes, what will you do? So you are advised to stay at home. Then report your conditions to your professors or supervisors. Then the campus health services shall monitor the health status. Okay. If none of the indicators are, wala kang sinagot na yes, so puro no, you are allowed to report to school. Okay. However, you need to proceed to the screening station. So sa health declaration form ka palang pumapasa. After that, merong screening station, and the college has two screening stations. One is in front of the main gate, yung main entrance natin in the campus, and a triage that will be located beside the multi-purpose hall, okay, to screen the students before attending their classes. So there will be faculty in charge that will check if the student will be having a class for the day. Kung wala kang scheduled class, you are not allowed to enter the vicinity of the college. So procedures in on-site health screening at the entry point. One, mandatory login of everyone entering the campus, offices, or colleges. Then no face mask, no entry policy. A mandatory checking of temperature. Yan. Merong set body temperature. Pag hindi ka pumasa doon, you will not be allowed to enter the campus or the college. Then fourth, observe adequate physical distancing. So, gaano tayo kalayo? So, kahit sobrang miss nyo na yung mga kaibigan ninyo, dapat dumistansya muna tayo, 1.5 meters. Okay, then use of napanam, La Union tracer, and lastly, you have to do regular and frequent hand sanitation. So pag nakapasa na tayo sa entry point, what will happen next? So here are the protocols in entering and exiting the building. So there will be a separate entrance and exit point. So hindi na pwede gaya ng dati na magkakasalubong yung mga pumapasok. So you have to follow the locations, yung walkway path natin. So kung papasok ka, dun ka sa entrance path. Pag palabas na ng campus or college, dun ka sa exit path. Then temperature check and hand sanitizing before entering and exiting the college or building. And students exceeding the normal temperature would be brought to the isolation facility. So merong 37.5. Pag mas mataas ka na sa 37.5, you will be given a time to rest. Tapos after 5 minutes, kukuhanan ka ulit at tapos mataas ulit yung temperature mo. That is the time na dadalhin ka na sa isolation facility. Then step on the foot sanitation mat before entering and exiting the building. Okay, so nasa loob na tayo ng building. Next, papasok na tayo sa loob ng classroom. So anong gagawin natin pag papasok sa loob ng classroom? So hindi na allowed yung maghihintayan sa labas tapos sabay-sabay papasok. So the first student to enter the room shall occupy chair number 1 and as follows. Then the last student to enter will occupy chair number 12. Okay. During classes, what will be the physical distancing protocols? So students with scheduled class will be allowed to enter. So 12 students per classroom lang ang allowed. Students are required to wash their hands prior to conduct of class. Then wear face mask properly always and maintain 1.5 meters apart at all times. So bawal muna yung group picture. Yan. So mag-group picture with 1.5 meters apart. Hindi na pwede yung dikit-dikit. Next, after the class, lalabas na tayo ng classroom. Ano yung gagawin natin? So again, the first student to exit the room is the one seated at chair number 1. Then sunod-sunod na yon. Then the last student to exit is the one who is occupying the chair number 12. So hallway traffic, classes are dismissed within a 5-minute interval. Okay, so students should disperse one at a time. Then follow arrow markers for one-way lanes and social distancing markers. So in using comfort rooms, you have to observe the following. Again, observe social distancing. So in order to follow social distancing, you have to be on the designated markers to use the restroom. Then during hand washing, 1 student per sink will be observed. Then you have to wear your face mask. So always wear well-fitted face mask. Face shields are optional. Then it is also recommended the changing of mask. So dapat may extra mask tayo para once na medyo basa na yung face mask natin, we have to change it. Then course, make it sure that the face mask is with a good grade, yung pasado sa na DOH na gamitin natin. For mealtime protocols, okay, we have the dietary staff will wear the proper PPE to prepare the meals. Okay. Properly sanitize the meal area before or after eating. So, yun, maghugas muna ng kamay bago kumain. So, yun yung gawin na natin ngayon. Kasi before, pwedeng kain muna bago hugas. Pero at this point of time, hugas muna bago kain. Then after kumain, maghugas ulit. Okay? Then, it is advisable to bring boxed lunches and your own utensils. Then, proper keeping of PPE or face mask. So, make it sure na itapon natin sa tamang location yung PPE and face mask. As for the maintenance, cleaning, sanitation, and disinfection protocol, so we will be having a daily office or classroom disinfection that will be done after class, 4 to 5 p.m. Okay. If daily inspection will not be performed, that is due to a positive case or a close contact inside the room, so the disinfection will be done after 24 hours. Okay. Then disinfection is no longer required if the room was used about 1 week prior a positive case was confirmed. With regards to the deliveries from online purchases, okay, it is encouraged for the buyer to yung pa-deliver natin sa ating mga bahay, yung mga purchases natin. Kung hindi naman kaya, ayan, the package will be disinfected by the courier, or the buyer can disinfect it prior to bringing it inside the building or office. With regards to containment and lockdown protocol, so we have 3 different ways on where the facility or campus will be locked down. One is lockdown of facility for disinfection. Second one is lockdown of campus due to case clustering. Meron ng pahapyaw na discuss si Dean kanina regarding the lockdown protocols. Then lockdown of campus due to community quarantine reclassification. Okay, lockdown of facility for disinfection. Yan, pwedeng 24 hours lockdown. If yan, the room or offices visited by the confirmed cases, okay, will be locked down to lessen the transmission prior to disinfection. So hindi agad-agad na papasukin yung classroom or office or building na merong positive or confirmed positive case. So pahupain muna ng 24 hours bago i-disinfect. A less than 24 hours lockdown could be declared. Paano mangyayari dito? There will be a shorter period of disinfection. So 3 to 4 hours disinfection is allowed, provided that the safety of employees, students, visitors is ascertained. Then a granular lockdown will be declared or may be allowed, provided that unaffected employees are secured. Then sections, floors, units are not subject of granular closure to ensure continuity of operations. Okay. That is for lockdown of facility for disinfection. Then lockdown of campus due to case clustering could be declared by the crisis management unit or committee or the local government unit or LGU, specifically the municipality of Agoo. So kailan sila magde-declare ng lockdown? Okay. They will declare lockdown if 2 or more confirmed cases were identified from the same area, regardless of same or different classrooms or office space over a period of 14 days, or if there will be clustering of suspected cases. Then for the LGU to declare lockdown if the school has less than 1,000 occupants with at least one cluster of cases composed of either of the following: a suspected, probable, and or confirmed COVID-19, or at least 2 clusters where the individuals identified as such have been physically reporting to the school or work for the past 14 days. Yun. So, ang nangyayari dito, sinekreto na pumapasok na meron siyang or suspected case siya or confirmed COVID-19 case siya. Pumasok siya for the past 14 days. So, possibility of lockdown. Then next, dati nalilito tayo sa CQ. Ngayon, meron tayong new quarantine reclassification, yung alert level. So, alert level 1, limited face-to-face classes shall be allowed to operate or undertaken as long as the institution is consistent with the minimum public health standards and health and safety protocols set by the national government agencies. Alert level 2, okay, limited face-to-face classes shall be allowed, and yan, there is a set maximum capacity for an indoor and outdoor venue. So for indoor, 50%, for outdoor, 70%. For alert level 3, 30% and 50% for indoor venue and outdoor venue, respectively. For alert level 4, okay, face-to-face classes shall not be allowed to operate or be undertaken except those approved by the IATF and or the Office of the President. For alert level 5, automatic, face-to-face or in-person classes at all levels shall be suspended. Now let us move on for the quarantine and isolation protocols. So if you are tagged as asymptomatic close contact, so you will quarantine for at least 5 days from exposure. For fully vaccinated, that is for fully vaccinated. Then for partial or unvaccinated, you have to complete at least 10 days quarantine. Okay. For fully vaccinated, still, it is encouraged for you to continue, monitor if symptoms will occur for 14 days. So you have to observe. Kahit tapos ka na sa quarantine period mo for 5 days, still you have to monitor yourself for 14 days. Okay? Then if symptoms exist, report it immediately. For isolation, a symptomatic case is for fully vaccinated at least 7 days from positive test or date of collection. So mag-i-start ka ng counting dun sa date of collection day specimen nung nagpa-swab test. For partial or unvaccinated, at least 10 days. And again, it is encouraged to monitor if symptoms will occur. How about for symptomatic cases? Okay. So for mild symptoms, for fully vaccinated, at least 7 days. Isolation for partial or unvaccinated, at least 10 days. For moderate symptoms, so vaccination status will not be considered anymore for moderate symptoms. So at least 10 days isolation. Then for severe and critical symptoms, at least 21 days. Okay, so what will be your responsibilities? Okay, so hindi lang sa student, pati employees. Ano yung responsibilities natin when we undergo quarantine? So the student must inform the clinical coordinator, program chair, and dean about the situation. For employees, you have to inform the department head. Second, the student or employee must follow local quarantine protocols. Then before or upon returning to work or school, the student or employee must provide the health services unit the following: certificate of quarantine completion and a copy of the official test result if he or she underwent RT-PCR test. Okay, in case anyone exhibited COVID-19 signs and symptoms while inside the campus, here are the following emergency transfer protocols that should be performed by the medical staff or the faculty in charge. 1, you have to instruct the individual to wear his or her face mask and face shield at all times during the isolation. So there is an isolation room that will be provided in the campus. Second, explain that he or she will stay temporarily in the isolation room until transportation to his or her home or health facility is ready. Third, provide the needs of the individual. Fourth, communicate and process the individual's referral for transfer to the appropriate health care facility. Next is to prepare the transportation vehicle for the individual's emergency transfer. After that, the faculty in charge shall endorse the management provided to the individual to the in charge of the healthcare facility. And lastly, to ensure proper documentation of the incident, then disinfect the transportation vehicle and isolation room. And here are the different reminders to everyone. We have the implementation of the RA 11332 or the mandatory reporting of notifiable diseases and health events of public health concern act. So anong gagawin natin dito? We have to self-report. Yan. We have to report to the health services unit via messenger account per campus of the employees or student with symptoms related to COVID-19 and or exposure to known or suspected COVID-19 cases for efficient case management, and triage is highly encouraged. Yan. So kung meron na tayo nararamdaman na symptoms or exposed tayo, we have to inform the health service unit. So there will be a messenger account per campus. Then a telemedicine is offered wherein the individual campus health services unit messenger account will be used for the conduct of the telemedicine, for scheduling of procedures, consultations for stable patients, and requesting of maintenance medicines for senior constituents. Here are some gently reminders to students. So we have to follow, or you have to follow the safety protocols and cooperate with all the procedures to be followed inside the campus and laboratories. One, you have to wear mask properly within the premises of the college or campus at all times. Second, you have to check your temperature. Yan. Students are requested to check temperature and to fill out the health declaration form. Then, third, students should always observe social distancing. And our parents or guardians, we remind you to, one, ensure the health condition of your children before allowing them to go to the school. Then, consistently remind your children of the safety protocols and safe distancing at all times. Then third, ensure that their children bring health kit. Ano yung mga health kit na dadalhin ng ating mga anak? Yan. Alcohol or sanitizer, face mask. Yung face shield optional, and they have to bring them all at all times. So dapat laging merong space yung health kit natin sa ating mga bag. Then lastly, if possible, prepare food for their children to bring to the school to avoid buying and using of others' utensils. And that is the end of my presentation. Let us work together to stop the spread of the virus. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Sir Joe Anthony Villela, for that very comprehensive discussion on the different guidelines once we are going to enter the school already. Okay, so now may we open our table for your questions. You may also raise your hand, or you may just type your questions in our chat box, okay? And then we will just gonna read them out and ask our dean to answer your queries. Okay, so any question po from the group? Do we have any questions or clarifications? We may raise our hands, or we may comment them in our chat box. Yes, Ma'am Ruby.
Regarding po dun sa PhilHealth, paano po pag hindi pa po nakakuha?
Ayan. Wait. Sige. I-confirm na lang.
Hello, Rubilin. For those who haven't secured their PhilHealth membership, ilang taon ka na, Iha?
21 na po.
At 21. So you need to apply for an individual membership from PhilHealth already. So you need to pay your contributions.
Yes, ma'am. Pero po yung po sa sinend ninyo sa email po, Gmail po. Kailangan na po ba siyang i-send now na po?
Hindi naman. Hindi naman. If it's not possible, so we can extend naman yung deadline. Pero ang tinatarget ko yung meron ng available for today. Yung mga may available na data. Okay ba yun, Rubilin?
Okay, Mr. Rubilin, is your query being addressed? Clear na ba, Mr. Rubilin? Okay, so do we have any other queries po? Questions po? From our parents po? Any question po?
Ma'am, to clarify lang po sa dependent tsaka individual po na ano po na PhilHealth documents po. Sa 20 below po is dependent and sa 21 plus ay 21 plus po sa individual. Ganon din po ba sa 21 plus with disabilities po sa dependent po? Tsaka if possible po, pwede pong mag-apply po ng PhilHealth po sa 21 plus with disabilities po. Para po ma-secure po yung account po, yung documents po dito.
Come again, Trishan? Ulit yung tanong.
I mean, since 20 below po is
Yes.
if is para sa dependent po and sa 21 plus sa individual po. Ganon din po ba sa 21 plus po with disabilities po sa dependent? And also po, pwede pong mag-secure po ng PhilHealth documents po sa sa 21 plus po with disabilities po na mag-secure po ng individual PhilHealth documents po.
Yes, it applies the same, no? It applies the same. As stated kanina, mayroon tayong direct or indirect. For the direct, yun na yung mag-apply yung 21 years old and above. And yung binanggit mo nga na 20 years old and below, considered na indirect yan. If halimbawa yung parents ay mayroon siyang PhilHealth at ikaw yung dependent. For the case of PWDs, I think and I believe pareho lang din yan na pwede pa rin. It applies just the same. Christian.
And also po, pwede pong pumasok po yung may mga disabilities po sa school po. Possible po na may pumasok po dyan na students with disabilities po. Kagaya po ako na may epilepsy po.
On the case na ganyan, Christian, I think okay lang din naman siya. Pwede pa rin, but of course we'll be taking note of that case para at least makapaghanda tayo just in case something will happen, no? Because you are very determined na talagang gusto mong pumasok. Pwede naman nating i-accommodate yan, no? We're not trying to discriminate kung sino lang yung pwedeng papasok, but considering the minimum requirements for the students who can possibly participate sa limited face-to-face ay okay lang din naman. Wala tayong problema dyan.
Okay po, sir. Thank you po.
Welcome, Trishan.
Okay, so we have a question here in our chat box from Ma'am Jenny Bipanduram. I'll just read what is typed. So, good afternoon, ma'am. Sir, ask ko lang po paano po yung mga fourth-year students na nag-retake ng NLP, kasali din po ba sa face-to-face class? Sir Charlie, can we address this question?
Hello, good afternoon. Miss Jenny, yung mga nag-retake ng NLP, wala na silang face-to-face classes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We also have from January. So, paano po kapag walang PhilHealth both parents? Kasi po, 4PC po yung mother ko. Tapos, 20 years old pa lang po ako. So, I think Miss Jomar, yung sa 4PC yata, they have separate, I mean, they are already members of PhilHealth. Parang sila yung mga pinigyan ng, yung guidance. So, member na po kayo, member na yung parent mo doon, and at the same time, since 20 years old ka pa lang, taken ka na ng parent mo as their dependent. So, pasok ka pa doon sa pagiging dependent ng parents mo. So, yun na lang, hanapin mo na lang kay sa parents mo yung, yung proof of membership nila doon sa PhilHealth. Yung sa indigency. So, pwede mo i-present mo siguro yung proof of indigency if you have yung gano'n. Kasi yun din yung hinahanap sa hospital minsan kapag may mga cases na gano'n. Okay. Taken ba yung questions?
Thank you po.
Okay. Now we also have from Miss Rosalie. Good day po. Ask ko lang po kasi yung anak ko, si Rosalie Villacorta po, meron siyang congenital heart disease. Need po ba mag-submit ng documents po? Next po, sir. Sir Darwin. Yes. Congenital heart disease.
Congenital heart disease, I think it's considered as comorbidity. So, Miss Rosalie, you can have the option dun sa adoption still ng flexible learning other than joining in the limited face-to-face. Kasi yung case na ganyan, so considered talagang comorbidity. As compared yung kanina sa epilepsy, we can set an environment where we can actually prevent or mabawasan yung effect nung if in case nagkaroon ng problem sa epilepsy, no? But dito sa congenital heart disease, baka mas okay kung yung option na dun ka na lang sa flexible learning, Ms. Rosalie. And for the students magpa-participate sa limited face-to-face, no? We prefer students na walang access sa technology like yung computer. Wala kayong nagamit ng computer, we might as well consider participating sa limited face-to-face. But for those with say laptop or computer or desktop at home na pwede namang magamit for the flexible learning, no, we advise you to consider the other option, which is yung flexible learning. Kasi based on the number of students who give their intent to join, medyo madami na. So we try to limit it for just 12 students per section muna, no? Para mas manageable, no, yung klase. But it's going to be a symbolic magiging symbolic open, no? Just itong 12 na estudyante per section. But eventually, gradually, we will be increasing the number, no? As the situation improves, then pwede naman na nating ma-increase yung bilang, no? Considering that opening ay half of the term already, perhaps by mid-year term or next school year, no? We may be considering yung lahat na, no, to be accommodated for the face-to-face session. So, tingnan natin yung version sa mga susunod na buwan. No? So, yan. Okay.
So we do another query from Mark Lester Prindol. So good afternoon po about sa PhilHealth po. Paano po kapag ang PhilHealth number lang ang available, hindi pa kasi mahanap yung PhilHealth ID number? PhilHealth ID.
You can go to PhilHealth satellite office here in Agoo if taga Agoo ka lang din or dito lang sa malapit. Naka-open naman yan. And you can inquire, doon sa office. Just provide your PhilHealth number, the membership data record or data sheet ay maibibigay din sa iyo, Mark, ano?
So next query, so from Fritzl Sile. Good afternoon po, about po sa form, nakapasa na po ako ng form, nalagay ko na po ang PhilHealth number ko, pero di ko nalagay yung PhilHealth ng parents ko, 19 years old pa lang po ako.
Nalagay yung PhilHealth. So meaning you applied, Fritzl, you applied for your own health. Well, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter. If you have applied though you're still 19 years old, it's okay. No? Okay lang din naman. Sa PhilHealth na ang magdedetermine if you are eligible na magpa-member ng PhilHealth. But I can see no problem kung magpa-member ka na kahit 19 years old ka pa. You're already in your legal age and you can decide on your own for itself, no?
Here from Mr. Calvin Braga. Good afternoon po. How about po, both my parents have no PhilHealth ID, kahit individual na lang po yung ID, which ako na lang po, but still 19 years old, kahit wala ng parents PhilHealth.
Yes, Calvin, kahit walang PhilHealth yung parents mo and you have applied your individual membership, your membership as an individual sa PhilHealth, though you're still 19 years old, there's no problem in that. No? There's no problem in that.
Okay, so we also have here from Diana Rose Belen. Sa mga nasandan po namin to participate for limited face-to-face classes, okay lang po ba kahit hindi mag-fill out yung mga students na ayaw na po mag-F2F or nagbago po yung decision? Sir, how are we going to address this one?
Ay, kay Miss Diana Rose. Kahit hindi mag-fill out. Yes, it's okay. If you did not fill out the form, it's presumed that you're not, you have done decision not to participate sa limited face-to-face. No? So kung wala yung pangalan nyo doon sa form, that's already given na ayaw nyo mag face-to-face. No? But as per checking on the list provided dun sa lahat ng sections, medyo marami yung talagang makikipag-join sa limited face-to-face. No? So Diana Rose, if you chose not to participate sa limited face-to-face, it would be fine because we still have other options, which is yung flexible learning natin. No? But again, mas okay kung at least matry ninyo yung bumalik na rin dito sa campus physically, and especially yung mga first year, second year na talagang hindi pa nila nakikita or nakakapunta dito sa campus, ano. So yun po ang natin dyan.
Okay, moving on. We have Jamaica Cortez. Good afternoon, sir. Pwede po bang mag-join sa F2F kahit hindi na sendan ng email or link?
Yes, Jamaica, ano. The list is still being updated. We still have time, no, para ma-update po yan. Kaya just notify or inform your advisor para you will be guided as to what you will be doing.
Okay, so thank you, sir. Here's another query from Mark Angelo Vargas. Good afternoon po. Just to clarify lang po, kung wala pong field health, pwede po bang gamitin yung sa parent or sa field? Thank you po in advance.
Mark Angelo, yung nabanggit natin kanina, pwedeng direct or indirect. Pag direct, sabihin, ikaw mismo mayroong PhilHealth, yung individual membership. If it's indirect, 20 years old below, yung indirect, yung parents, yung PhilHealth, and you are declared as dependent. So you can use yung membership ng parents mo, you being their dependent, no? So pwede yun. Hindi naman necessary na individual or ikaw mismo ang magkaroon. But then again, PhilHealth has this policy na 20 and below, gamitin yung PhilHealth ng parents kung meron. 21, up. Yun yung talagang dapat sa sarili mo, mayroon kang membership.
So, in addendum to PhilHealth guarantees, we have John Joshua Bertolome. So, okay lang po ba na sa po na PhilHealth muna ang gamitin habang hindi pa po ako nakakakuha? Hindi po kasi yung PhilHealth naman.
Well, yung PhilHealth ng ate mo, if nakadeclare ka ba na dependent ng ate mo? If that is so, then pwede mong gamitin. No? Pero pag hindi mo pwedeng gamitin yon. No? Importante, you are declared as dependent. No? You are declared as dependent. Pero pag hindi mo magagamit.
Thank you very much, sir. So we also have Miss Kimberly P. Gamboa. We're regarding po sa class schedule ng PH. Ano po kasi yung schedule ngayon? Sir, attend po ako ng virtual class ng Condicia. Pasok po ba ako sa F2F, sir? Since isa po ako sa mga nasandan ng info from Ma'am Nema.
There's a conflict sa schedule mo since you are participating sa Undicia. Pwede mo namang anong specific na schedule mo dun sa virtual class sa Undicia?
Sir, 7:30 to 10 p.m.
7:30 to
10 a.m.
What subject is scheduled on not the same schedule yung dito sa college? Anong schedule? Anong subject, I should say?
Sir, yung mobile application po.
Mobile application. Yun lang ba yun? Kasi we can set up, say, a room for you to attend your scheduled virtual classes dun sa Undicia kung kahit nandito ka sa school, no? And right after that, you can attend to your other classes, no? In the afternoon or right after that, no? Pwedeng ganon ang gawin. No?
Sige po, sir. Thank you po.
Pero kung sakaling talagang conflict at sa tingin mong hindi rin magiging effective, then you can choose the other option, Kimberly. No?
Sige po, sir.
Okay.
8:36.
Of Miss Bernadette Gamboa. This is another co-help related. So, afternoon, sir, may help po ako pero matagal na ako din nahulugan mula design po ako sa work kasi po yung company naghulog po dati. Paano po ba i-apply kapag hulog po na lang po?
Yes, I think pwede kayong, Miss Bernadette, no, pwede kayong pumunta sa satellite office ng PhilHealth and consider reactivating yung membership mo ng PhilHealth, no? Bernadette?
Yes, sir. Thank you po.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for that. Now, we move on with the prayer of Mr. Brian, Justin, D. San Juan. Good afternoon po. Ano po sa pag-conduct ng midterm and final examinations? Sir Charlie?
Hello, Mr. Brian. The midterm and final examinations will be conducted virtually. Thank you.
Okay na ba yan sa inyo, Sir Brian? Nasagot yung prayer mo? Okay. So, furthermore, we have Miss Jenny Tiana from 3B. Good afternoon po, professors. Paano pag Pangasinan pero gusto po makipag face-to-face? Salamat po.
Miss Jenny, gusto mong taga Pangasinan pero gusto mo. Adi, pwede ka pa rin namang pumasok. I think that we already have an improved public transportation, no? Open naman na ata, so wala naman masyadong problema na dyan. Okay pa rin yan.
In addition, Miss Jenny Tiama, I can still accept you if you want to participate in the limited face-to-face since the 3B students does not yet achieve the maximum number of students per class. Thank you.
Thank you so much po.
Okay.
Another query from an anonymous. So, good afternoon po, sir, ma'am. Okay lang po ba maki-join sa FFS, which is online class po kasi yung nailagay po sa sir. And after po kasi diniscuss ko ni Sir Charlie po is 1 day lang po per week. So, I decided po na mag-absent na lang sa work po to attend FCF po, sir. Thank you po.
Hi, Ma'am Carissa. May I know po yung name ng student? And what section po?
What may, sino po si Mr. Diwan, Vivo 1906? What is your name and section po? So most likely, sir, ito working student siya.
Yes, ma'am, kasi kailangan ko malaman yung
Vivo
section niya, ma'am.
1906. Please comment na lang po yung, or kindly open up your mic and your name and section.
Miss Stephanie Cruz, you are in section 2G. Yes, I can still accept you. Send pa lang kasi ang ang magpa-participate sa section ninyo. Thank you.
Okay, so Stephanie, okay lang ba yun sa'yo? Okay, thank you, sir. Now, we have also a query regarding uniform from Angel Soriano. Good afternoon po. Concern ako about sa uniform. Paano po yung mga wala pa pong uniform? Uniform daw po.
Anong year siya, ma'am?
Sir, Miss Angel Soriano, what section are you and from what year? 2B daw.
Wala, alang uniform ang second year at first year students. Thank you.
Okay. So we have another one here from Jenny Dulay. Good afternoon po. Paano po kung indigent PhilHealth po ang PhilHealth ng parents ko? Ma-carried pa rin po ba ako? 20 years old pa lang po ako. So,
As long as you are declared as dependent, no? Pero pag hindi carried yung PhilHealth ng parents mo, no? Now, regarding PhilHealth, kung may mga concerns po tayo sa PhilHealth, I would suggest and recommend to better visit po yung satellite office ng PhilHealth dito sa Agoo, or if you're from Bawang, Kaba, pwede niyong i-visit naman yung PhilHealth sa San Fernando. I think that's in CSI Mall, no? Kaya at least may time pa kayong mag-mailing at ma-inquire nyo further details about PhilHealth. But generally, in the limited face-to-face, we require PhilHealth registration or membership. No? Kailangan natin yan before you can join in the limited face-to-face. So further details about PhilHealth, you may take time to visit yung satellite office dito sa Agoo or dun sa CSI Mall in San Fernando. Pag dun naman sa Pangasinan, I think meron, no? Sa Dagupan, meron dun.
okay, thank you very much, Sir, for the answer. And then, so reiterate lang po natin. So if you do have any questions for the PhilHealth, you may just go and visit the PhilHealth satellite office located at Agoo, San Fernando, or even in your own provinces like the Dagupan and so on. Okay. Furthermore, we have a question here. Good afternoon po. Pwede po pa po bang face-to-face survey form?
Sherlyn Camacho, we can still answer the face-to-face survey form, but there's no assurance na ma-accept ka doon sa participate. Ma-accept just because there are some sections po na puno na. Kasi, so kung 1F ka, Miss Sherlyn, pwede ka makipag-participate sa face-to-face. Thank you.
We do have another one here, sir. So, good afternoon po. How about yung mga hindi naka-receive ng email? Hindi pa po bang kumuha ng PhilHealth?
Well, if hindi ka makikipag-participate sa limited face-to-face, you need not get your PhilHealth. No? Kung hindi ka naman makikipag-participate, di huwag ka nang kumuha ng PhilHealth mo. No? And much as we want to accommodate all na pumasok na, still we are guided with the JMC that it is still limited, no? Limited to 12 students per section muna tayo, because yun lang yung capacity na pwedeng i-accommodate, no, nung laboratory rooms natin in compliance dun sa JMC, Joint Memorandum Circular, no? Kaya kahit hindi na, kung sakali na hindi kayo naka-receive ng email confirming that indeed kayo ay mag-a-attend or makiki-join ng limited face-to-face, kahit hindi na kayo kumuha. Romay Eliza. But again, yung pag-filter at yung pag-consider natin dun sa mga mag-a-attend, we prefer yung mga students na wala talagang nagagamit na device or gadget sa bahay, especially in their coding classes. Yung walang computer sa bahay, sila yung ini-encourage talaga na maki-join for the limited face-to-face. Walang good and reliable internet connectivity sa bahay, nag-load lang ng data, ganon, no? So, yung may mga computer sa bahay at may internet connectivity, kahit mag-online na lang, no? Mag-online na lang 'yon.